Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to You and It's Time We Talk, Season 2, Episode 3. Back with the team again today. To my left, I have Mr. Alex Tucker. Also, Miss Anastasia Book. I'm sorry. I had a blank moment. We had so much going on, so thank y'all for bearing with us. We had a lot of technical difficulties. But if you guys see any concerns, please feel free to let us know. Also, tomorrow I have Mr. TJ Booker, our very special guest. She's an intake nurse and mental health counselor, Ms. Laquinn Barrett, and also Ms. Tamika Wilson will be joining us via virtual in just a few seconds. But just starting out, this episode will be about, mental health, your physical health, with everything going on, especially with this pandemic. This is a very important episode, so this is very important for us to have Ms. Laquinn Barrett with us, just to talk about everything that's going on with this pandemic, and just sharing some advice about how to keep our mental and physical health intact. Are you good to go?
Yeah.
So Ms. Tamika Wilson will be joining us shortly, but just starting out, I want to get to our special guest with us, Ms. Barrett. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. Of course, we sat down recently, maybe about a month ago, but I just want to ask you one of the first things. Since we last sat down, how are you holding up since the last time? Yeah, tell us everyone.
Pretty good. Of course, things have changed and transpired with COVID-19. A lot of more death incidents, and of course the rates are going up as far as the amount of people that are being diagnosed with COVID-19 and disparities, etc. Handling it the best way that we can in the community, especially in the Black community. Of course, we have more deaths in the Black community due to comorbidities that a lot of African Americans have that they haven't really addressed. Of course.
I was going to say, I have one more question, then I'm going to turn it over to the panel. I know the last time we sat down, you said you took the first dose of the vaccine. Have you taken the second one?
I did my second one last Monday.
You did it? Okay. So
yes.
How are you feeling since taking it? Was there any side effects or anything? Or how are you feeling since you took the second one?
I had fatigue for about 3 days, which mimicked when I had COVID-19. I had fatigue for about 4 weeks. So at this point, I'm siding with the vaccine instead of the disease itself because it was very difficult when I had COVID-19.
Now, are they saying, after this question, I'm going to turn to the panel, are they saying, as far as the vaccine, are they saying, does it prevent you from catching COVID, or does it keep you from catching, the worst strain of it? What are they saying as far as
right now, I guess we're all just riding the same wave, and it's supposed to prevent you from getting it, but I can't really say if you'll get it or if you won't get it.
Right.
I guess like anything else, the flu vaccine, it should, help you build up antibodies. That way, it gives you a high percentage of not getting it. But as far as saying you won't get it, I don't want to say that, and they said that nurse said that I wouldn't get it.
As far as a germ, man, if you get the germ, you call it germ. So
I
I know, this episode, we're kind of focusing on mental health. Like you said, with COVID, there's been a lot of deaths. A lot of people have been sick. Those who had it have been in a hospital, they've been in there alone. So it can weigh on you. I've seen it. It's weighed on a lot of people and stuck in the house. You got people who want to go out. They're used to doing things and you can't. And me and TJ kind of had a conversation that if this is a new normal, what is the next generation going to be like? Is everybody going to be an introvert? No one can touch each other because you're trained that way?
That is the big question. Is this going to be the new normal? How long is this going to last, and what's next? It's already been confirmation of a new strand that's come out, so really you just have to treat everybody as if they may have it. I mean, it's horrible And isolation is the biggest thing that we're seeing that's causing a lot of mental health issues. A lot of suicide rates have gone up, of course, depression, anxiety, in turn that, causes suicide rates. And that's what I'm dealing with on the regular. I went from working Monday, Wednesday, Friday to basically Monday through Sunday.
Wow.
So, yeah, suicide rate has definitely gone up. Homicide rate has gone up. I mean, everyone is stressed out. If they don't, may not have thoughts of killing themselves, maybe thoughts of killing others, or maybe they just snap.
Yeah.
It's happening so fast, and it's a high incident of that. It's very upsetting, but I guess you don't know how you would handle that type of stress until it happens to you, losing first degree relatives. I mean, daily you look at Facebook and it's obituaries, and majority of it is COVID-19.
What are some of the signs that if you have a family member that's going through depression, and you're on the outside looking in, how do you know it? I had one friend who was going through depression, but he was always laughing and joking. I never saw it coming. So what are the signs?
Changing eating habits. I talked to Carlos about that last time. Sleeping habits change. And unfortunately, with males, you don't know. They can laugh it off and, and hide it and mask it so well to just keep going. And then eventually you snap. Because it's unfortunately in the Black community, we're told that that's crazy to go and talk to someone.
Yes.
Don't go and talk to them. You need to, figure it out on your own, and that's not good.
Yeah, and I've noticed that. That's something I've always noticed, that mental health is taboo in
Yes.
our culture.
Definitely.
It's like, if you have an issue, you're crazy. And
Right.
you're taught to keep it to yourself, so you have people suffering alone, like internally, and you have no idea that what's going on with them. Because we're taught that's crazy.
That's
People
crazy, right?
No, big facts. So, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Episode started off great so far. When it comes to mental health, and how the data, I mean, you probably get better data than we do, but from the outside world as a non-medical professional, like you said, it's like taboo. Do you feel that the Black community should focus on mental health or mental, how can I say, performance? Like maintaining our mind in such a way that it's functional for us, a healthy mind. Because when I think of mental health, I feel like you have to go back, relive all the things that caused you the trauma, process that. It's a full circle type of deal when I'm thinking, and relive that trauma, assess that, then address that trauma, right? And then continue to work on getting through that. So I think for me, as a Black male, I always wondered, well, if I went and talk to a therapist, would it be a man or a woman? How would I be able to connect with someone? Maybe that's a question for you. How do you know who's a good person to talk to?
Well, at my job is several of us, and what I do like is that it's very diverse.
Okay.
So, say for instance, if I was your therapist and I just couldn't get you to open up,
Okay.
I could maybe switch off with Anastasia and say, listen, he doesn't seem comfortable. Or I could ask you, do you want me to go and get TJ instead, or
Okay.
would you prefer to talk to someone else?
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that you guys had
Yeah.
I mean, where would someone go and find the resources to talk to someone? Would you go to the hospital, or is that something that you do?
Our hospital is all mental health,
Okay,
and it's Carolina Center for Behavioral Health in Greer.
wonderful.
Mhm.
So if I were to have an episode or have a breakdown, and I would go to Union Hospital,
They can transport
they would see that the nurse would come in, he need a mental counselor.
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm, mhm.
okay. So I got tons of questions about this now. techniques that we can use in our community here in Union to encourage people instead of putting out that, oh, you crazy, like, oh, I don't need to go talk to somebody. Like, what are some techniques that, instead of like, saying, bro, you need to go talk to somebody serious, like, you really need to go talk to somebody. Or, first thing we would do in this community is we pray about it, right? Go pray about it. Then maybe
Put it in God's hands.
Put it in God's hands. That's what we're going to do. We're going to give it to Him all day.
That's what you're going to hear. Put it in God's hands. But you need.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
Yeah, further resources. If you have I would say a strong point person in your life, say your pastor or if you are friends with people like me,
Yeah.
you can start there.
Yeah.
And then you can start with TJ, and if he says, hey, well, this is good, we can pray about it, but
Right.
I feel like you need further assistance with this
No.
incident that you're going through.
I wonder. So, okay.
And those people, a lot of pastors are trained in, counseling. I don't know the depth of their training,
Yeah.
but, they could tell you, hey, this is what we need to be doing. But also, there's starting to be more mental health awareness for the Black community now. There's a lot of events transpiring. Taraji P. Henson, I was telling Carlos, has started a live. Her best friend was schizophrenic and bipolar manic depressive her whole life. And they were her friend, but they picked on her.
Wow.
And they laughed at her. And, until they became adults, she was just the crazy one in the group. And so, that was a hard childhood for her. She came from a small community, her best friend did. And so now they joined together because of Taraji's clout, and, they formed a mental health awareness for Black women live podcast themselves, and they go live pretty much once a week.
Wow.
And it's awareness for the Black community, and that can be used as a resource as well.
Before we get any further, and we'll definitely announce it again before we leave, but what is that, the hotline or number for people that need that help like right away if they need someone to talk to? What's the number or hotline that they can
The
use?
one I gave you. To book an appointment with us, if it's not emergent, it would be 864-235-2335. Of course, emergent, you need to go to the emergency room first. If I call you and say, hey, Carlos, I just want to end it all, then you need to be calling 911, get them to my location, and then they can do the proper steps and then get you to us.
In mental health, a lot of people don't know that, but it got different levels. It go different ways. You can go from somewhere like ODZ, or you can be schizophrenic. You can be, you can have depression. It's so deep. And some of the warning signs I have seen, I notice people, sometimes you might have somebody who, I knew this one guy, he didn't even have a telephone in his house, but he thought somebody was bugging him. They listen to my call, and that's kind of paranoid or schizophrenic, if I'm right. But some people would laugh that off like, man, you just crazy, ain't nobody out to get you. Or they may think somebody have bugs in their wall, and that's sort of like we call paranoid. They think the government's out to get them, and those people need, to be seen before it gets, to a deeper level, And sometimes certain things that I find out that you can do to kind of trigger that. You might not have that, but you're doing certain things and dibbling and dabbling in certain things, and it can trigger it. It could be like it's almost there, and then certain things can just push you over the edge.
So let me ask you a question for both of you guys. So we're talking about triggers. Like, okay, we've all grew up in a similar community, and we've seen that friend, whether it's male or female, that seems to be so angry at the world that they just have a hard time, I wouldn't even say deal with things. It's more so of they got a chip on their shoulder, but it's a little too much of a chip, right? Like they just closed off. Their body language is saying, hey, don't speak to me. Like, would that be an ideal person? Like, I'm sure there's other characteristics there, but we've all known that person that just, and you can ask me a question, hey, what's your name? And I can say, why are you asking me that? Like, you know, like I'm so defensive all the time, you know, things like that. Is that a sign of someone dealing with mental health issues? Like, you know, like TJ said, somebody's bugging the phone, like different things, different triggers. I'm trying to like look in my community now and say, let me talk to this person. Yeah.
Majority of the time, that's a sign of trauma,
Okay.
underlying trauma. Could have been from childhood up until adulthood, teenager. I mean, you never know. Can you hear me now? I'm sorry. Yeah, a lot of times that is a sign of underlying trauma. You just never know what people are going through or what they've been through.
Okay.
And what I've learned to do is you can't take it personal.
Okay.
And give people their moment, give them their space, and then maybe you can circle back and talk to them, or maybe you can't.
Okay.
But you know, you have to take the wins and the losses, but you're not gonna be able to reach everyone.
You're right.
So that's the main thing, is to, you know, meet people where they are. And, you know, some people, they have some deep trauma. Unfortunately, in the Black community, we've been taught to be quiet.
Yeah.
What went on in this house went on in this house. And that's like the worst thing ever.
Okay, see now you gave me another random question. I don't have any children yet, but I know a lot of people that do, right? And a lot of African Americans. What are signs, like what are some techniques that parents can do to make their child feel like they've been hurt? Like, you know, sometimes they say, it may be a school situation, Mom, I really don't want to go to that class. I really don't want to go mess with that teacher. Mom, I really, like, I'm telling you, like this, I'm dreading doing this. And you know, my mom might say, you ain't staying home. You're going to go to school. You're going to tough it out, right? But really, truly, that environment puts me some type of way. Like, what are some evidence or some procedures or process to make sure that the children in the community are being heard, and by administration as well, on a mental health note? Because I don't even know if administration would take it serious, you know?
I mean, if you know your child and it's a change of routine, we're getting a high amount of adolescents, especially with COVID-19, having hybrid school or all homeschool. It's very stressful on the children. Unfortunately, the suicide rate for children, you know, the ideation is going up as well. They're very stressed out. Just trying new things online. Phone usage is terrible.
It's crazy. That's social media. Yeah.
Unfortunately, these children are smarter than us, per se. Not wiser, but smarter. If you take the phone, they can figure out a way still to reach their peers, talk to strangers in the middle of the night. And unfortunately, the people that they're talking to are not children.
Right.
So that's right now, the sex trafficking is also up.
Right.
That's something new I'll be getting into maybe next year. Right now, I'm working on it.
Wonderful.
But yeah, right now, because the children are at home, the sex trafficking rate is going up because it's easy access. The parents are at work,
They throw a phone in their face and
throw a
say,
phone in his face, play a game. On the game, they're talking to different people as well.
Wow.
Those are adults
Wow.
yeah.
masking as children. It's very difficult right now because of you have TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, where it goes away. So even if I check your phone, I don't see it.
Would you say it's a particular way that we can kind of get in front of these type of things? 'Cause I feel like sometimes as a society, instead of being proactive, we can get reactive, and we wait till things happen before we step in. A lot of times, especially like I know we had a situation, the company I work for, not the place that I'm at, but at another location, they had a gentleman take his own life in the parking lot. And then that's when they, came back to us later on and said, hey, if you ever need somebody to talk to, here's a number you can call, here's a hotline. And it's like, why do we have to wait till something like this tragically happens before, they give us these kind of resources? But is there any type of way that you say that we can kind of like get ahead of these type of things?
Definitely establishing a routine, I would say if you have children, limiting the phone at night when you're at home, set a routine. I mean, it's probably old school to a lot of people, especially with different work schedules, but even if you work nights, maybe set aside the morning or when you first get off, because the kids are staying up to 1, 2, 3 in the morning. They are. I know they are. Because I see them. But, you know, setting setting that time aside, and on the weekends, like especially Sundays, make it about your family as much as you can. I mean, I know society has, you know, changed and both parents work and everybody work all the time to survive, but you know, the time that you have, if you can set that aside and put the phones up and check it as much as you can and, you know, be involved. But outside, you know, we got COVID, so I mean, make them go outside, make them get active, do something other than phone.
So let me ask you a question. Social media, right? It's our newspaper nowadays, right? We don't. I mean, when the last time, I hate to say it, I tried to purchase a Union Daily Time, Union County News. As soon as every time I get a chance, I see one, but I don't know when y'all run. Nevertheless, I think it's Tuesdays now. They deliver paper. Sometimes when I wake up in the morning, I can see a happy post, and we just let's get to it, right? Or you can see something completely negative, and you're like.
And just start to really
Right.
Yes.
That's transform emotion. I can yawn, you yawn.
And
that's why
let him do that part.
it's like, you know, that's why I tell a lot of people, be careful who you talk to, because some people can just bring you all the way down, you know, and you can find yourself falling into that, you know, into that realm, and now you're depressed.
Right.
You know, but what you gotta do is you can also pick them up. You know, a smile, it puts out, you know, it kind of give you a feel-good hormone,
Right.
and if you frown, it gives you a sad hormone. But you just talking to people, transferring emotion. Just remember, you try it, yawn. Just be anywhere, just yawn. It goes. So what you do is just limit who you talk to. Conversations wise, I mean, allow yourself to be picked up.
Right.
And not allow them to bring you down.
Right.
You sympathize with anybody you come in contact with. If they're crying, you know, you want to be sympathetic to that. But you also, like in her job, I'm just here wondering right now, how do you get to go home?
Yeah.
After you see all this stuff.
How do you deal with it?
And wow.
We need your approach.
And you know, and to bounce off of that, I always say, I was like, Gwen is so happy. I was like, I wish I was a people person like this. I wish I was just, you know, I was like, she's so friendly. And I was like, you know, that really was, you know, something that makes you stand out a lot.
Well, thank you. It's a lot of prayer. I'm in touch with my own pastor, you know, as much as I can be. I give credit to him. I can keep it down. He's on the line with us 24/7. Yes, he doesn't sleep, I don't think. But like you say, the energy, you have to keep your circle tight and keep it positive. So my friends, I don't know if you saw my birthday party or not, I mean, those are my friends. And they don't ask me about work. They may call and say, how you doing? Or, you know, or I can talk about work when I get off with particular friends. But, you know, we're out, I'm gonna have a ball. I don't care what's going on at work at that time, it's my time.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know what I might do, but I have to let that out. Because I have a million people up here and right here.
Yeah.
So I'm carrying that, but I'm carrying it on the job. I try not to take it home. Now I'm human.
Yeah.
And my weakness, of course, because I started in adolescent psych, is children. So children weighs on me a little bit. Yeah, I don't like seeing this many children suicidal.
Wow.
It's very depressing.
Wow.
It's hard. And it's mainly because the social atmosphere for us growing up, we knew everybody.
Yeah.
Our grandmothers were friends. We knew all our cousins. We knew we were going to church. We wasn't at Laquinn Chapter, we was at New Hope. We knew that. We had all of that. And so now the church is cut off. School is cut off.
Yeah.
Even if they're at school, they don't have activities.
Yeah.
There's no more PTO meetings. There's no more recitals, concerts, ball games, all that social stuff that we had on Friday nights.
Even a fair.
The fair, everything is gone. And these children are, they don't know how to deal with this. They're a child.
Right.
So, like you said, they got their phone.
Yeah.
And that's become everything. But see, what's going on is you make bad grades because you don't want to do your assignments. First thing you're going to do is take what?
The phone.
They cut off from everything. So now I'm just depressed. I'm alone. I
Yeah.
just want to die.
Oh, well.
I don't want to be here.
That is
I have
so
no reason
true.
to be here.
You take that phone, boy.
First line of defense is to take the phone.
Yeah.
Anytime any child does anything, guess what? I'm gonna take the phone. I'm gonna take the phone.
Oh,
If you do it, you gotta replace that, like, we'll have, like,
Gotta replace that.
she'll get on me a lot, and I tell her, I'm like, look here, no matter what we do, we have dinner, we're gonna sit at that table and eat. It's not one time, I thank God that I have never ate in my living room, never ate in my bedroom, we eat at the table.
Eat at the table.
And guess where the phones go when we're at the table? Put them down.
Got
If
to.
my boys, they try, we're gonna talk, I'm gonna see where you at.
Yes.
My son came home yesterday, and I had to literally, he wasn't talking like he usually do. I literally had to ask him, are you okay? Cause he's off in college right now, are you okay? Are the grades stressing you, the sports stressing you? Just let me know. You gotta watch it, you gotta look out for each other.
yeah.
And when it comes to your children, replace that, Pictionary, Monopoly. Do those things as a family
Right.
at home
Right.
with your children.
Right.
It brightened that she brought home a Pictionary. We use a little pen that goes to our phone, and you can just, draw your charades, but you draw them on the TV screen. We do that. Connect Four.
Yeah.
We play Uno. They got a new one called Deuce. Those. I'm not good. I never took Spanish. I took French. And when you get two cards, just play games with them and just see what they have.
Oh. No, that's really,
That's
kudos
great.
to you guys
Yeah, that's
to
good.
have that alternative method.
Well,
I'm just saying that to do that. I'm telling everybody do that. As a minister, we set tones. I'm trying to put that tone out there. Do that.
So you mentioned earlier in the episode about transfers of image and everything, and then I spoke previously about the difference between, like, if I wanted to go talk to someone, I'm gonna be honest, I don't care to relive the past. I have this ability to just let it go. Just go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Just
Do you?
good question there, now. Good question there, Doc. Okay, now.
Well, sometimes it's triggered by events that transpire later on.
It's a possibility.
Um,
But my point was, is there a mental performance coach? Right? I want to go hire someone that when I come to you and you say to me, and I'm like, what's going on with you? Focus me back in on what is important here. But then you gotta remember, I'm a black man, right? And based off the way that we view medicine and doctors and everything like that, you just heard the statement I said. I need to focus on what matters, right? And what matters to me is business, my growth, my wealth, all of those things. My livelihood. But I just totally forgot about myself, didn't I, really? Huh? Look at that.
Fortunate, unfortunate, fortunate, unfortunate,
Yep.
fortunate, unfortunate. The black male has been taught to be the provider. And that's it.
Yep.
That's what he was instilled to do. And I can say that because I grew up with a dad in my house who's a provider.
Right.
We very rare got disciplined by our dad because he worked and he provided. But when he came in the house, everything ceased and all attention, focus, whatever he wanted, that's what we did.
Right.
Because he was the king of the household. So most males, I don't know everybody's situation, but having room to be that way is, hey, you got work to do. You don't have time to be no sissy, no punk,
Right, there it is.
being soft,
Yeah,
pick it up, forget about it.
yeah,
You know, you gotta go to work.
yeah,
You got a family.
yeah.
Which, as I said, good, not good. And so later on down the line,
Wow, okay.
you decide you wanna get married,
Mhm,
have children.
mhm.
You know, your wife's trying to figure out, you know, what pleases you, what doesn't please you, and you don't know.
Cause all I know is
You gotta go to work. So she wants to, you know, go on a date and
Never stop dating, guys, never stop dating.
that's gonna be another day. That's my strong point. But, you know, she's just trying to get deep into, you know, how to be married and all that good stuff, but you don't have a clue.
so let me ask
Cause
you.
you've been at work.
So, what are some, you've probably seen on social media, this is what I mean. And it's really about mental health.
Mhm.
And it says that, you know, black men can only vent to black men because we feel like we only understand each other. Because, I mean, really and truly, when I look at TJ, I see myself. When I look at Carlos, I see myself as well, you know. So, what are some ways, do you think we should do a union, men's mental health? I mean, obviously, I don't know the,
She's talking, yeah.
yeah.
They just did one in, with Ben Hall. He
I'm
did
sorry, I
one.
didn't catch it.
Been hard, you've been hard.
Yes, and Carlos was there.
Yeah.
It was in
Yeah,
here?
men,
No,
the men
it was
vision
in-
summit. Yeah,
It was
Ben
in
Hall.
Welfare, right?
yeah, it was in Welfare, the men vision summit.
And
Yeah.
so Carlos was saying that they definitely need to do one
Oh, absolutely.
in this area.
Right.
Well, they had a mental health summit, and Marcus Porter and some more of the stronger guys in the community, you know, everybody that was somebody all met up and had a conference.
Oh.
And that's the perfect time to,
Yeah, they definitely bring that back down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, won't be hard, you got Carlos and Marcus
Yeah.
Porter and TJ here, so.
Yeah, they do it.
We need, I feel like in this community, in a lot of communities, but we're talking about union, we need a lot of mental health. Well, I can't say only, but when I was at DSS, the main mental health thing was, the mental health facility in Union. Not a lot of counselors, not a lot of, you know, school had guidance counselors, but kids are not gonna talk to them because they're gonna tell their parents. And then in our community, you know, like you say, these men have been groomed not to be emotional.
Right.
You're told not to be emotional, so who are you gonna talk to? And then we're told if someone is schizophrenic, bipolar, anything, they're crazy. You know, it's not they have a mental health issue or, you know, they're fighting something, which they could face and get, you know, overcome, treat, you know, and whatever they need to do, but you're taught to be strong. Just be strong, be strong. And like you said a few minutes ago, you said, I don't focus on that, I put it in the back of my mind. If you're not teaching people to face their problems and then they're embarrassed by it. So how do you bring these people who are embarrassed, who are in the shadows, how do you bring them forth to ask for that help?
How you gonna get them out?
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
and I can say this because I see it every day, majority of the black men, by the time they make it to me, are psychotic.
Oh,
So
but it's actually happened before they get it,
it happened before then.
way before.
Way before then.
But then nobody does it.
Nobody, they suppressed it, like he said,
Yeah.
and they snapped, had a break. Meltdown, breakdown, mental health breakdown, whatever you wanna call it.
What
Wrapped up,
are the signs before they, you know, when they can be helped? What
they
are the
change
signs?
your behavior.
Okay.
Yeah, sleeping 8, 9, 10 hours or not sleeping at all.
Yeah, okay.
Just working nights or I'm just gonna stay up.
When you're talking to them, what would you get? You couldn't get it by just, I mean, if I work with a person like that, how would I know?
Sometimes they talk and they don't make sense.
Okay.
Or they just ramble about the same subject, like
Okay.
over and over and
That's
over.
bothering me.
Yeah.
Are you alright? Yeah.
Somebody might say, well, I feel like somebody been following me.
Yeah.
Or police been walking
Yeah.
my house, like,
Yeah.
why?
Or maybe.
So they can be helped then, if you go,
Like people say, oh, I feel like the world's against me.
Against me, or everybody talking about me.
Especially, I hear them a lot.
Everybody's
You know, everybody talking about me.
Right.
Are they doing something behind my back and I don't know what it is?
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody want to tell me.
Or in today's news, I feel like people aren't supporting me enough. Like, have you
Yeah,
noticed
not
this?
supporting me,
It's
yeah.
crazy. It's
Yeah.
the will to be successful. I think it's people want to be that part. They want to put the work in and do it, but they want it to be a sprint.
Mm-hmm.
And when they figure out it ain't a sprint and they run into a roadblock, depression may set in. People may just clam up, you know, they'll jump out here with this great idea. I see it all the time, and you know, you just got, like TJ said, give me that positive energy.
Right.
Keep going, do it. I see you, you know what I'm saying? I try to like as much as I can on social media, you know what I'm saying?
People get addicted to that.
The like me.
To like.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I didn't get no likes, so how they get so many likes?
Right.
And most times, I'm gonna tell you a little secret. When you like other people's posts, sometimes they like yours back. When you don't ever like nobody's post, they're not gonna like yours. It's like,
But you also
and
have
don't let
to-
that define you. Though.
Exactly. People
Yeah,
have
you
to
can't
define
define
that
me.
does not define you. How many likes you may or may not get doesn't define you. What you place on social, because some people choose not to put their private things on there. They just choose to put some things there. That doesn't define you. But yeah, people will go into depression over.
And then, this is really what trips me out. You can write something general, and then everything. Oh, you talking about me?
Yeah.
What they say? If the shoe fits, wear it.
Yeah.
They feel, you know what I'm saying? There was something going on in them, and I just, man, I often tell people with the Instagram, I was like, people are gonna need therapy just because of social media. Like, social media has brought the world to your hand. You know what I'm saying?
And instead you said it's the new norm.
It's
And
crazy.
it's not
That's
going
not
anywhere.
gonna
It's
go
not going
anywhere.
anywhere.
It's just gonna be new.
And it's basically turned into like basically everybody's highlight reel. Where you see everybody doing this or vacation or whatever they're doing. It's kind of like a highlight reel for everybody now. So it's like everybody just living their best life. They're successful,
Mhm.
and it just.
But you know, I was just telling TJ, like, social media is like reality TV.
Oh, yeah.
In reality TV, you gotta think about it. They're saying they're following these people around, but who wants to see them go take a shower, dry off, put your clothes on, step by step? No one. So you see the highlights of their day. Social media, you see the highlights of people's day. People still have bad days. They have things that happen. They have sad moments. They have a lot of. We're all people.
Yeah.
But you're too busy seeing the highlights, and you're like, I gotta live up to that. I gotta have that.
I can vouch for that. If I'm in a bad mood or I'm pissed off, I'll take my phone away from me because you know what can happen? Let me vent right here on this social media right
And
here.
what's the first thing they ask you? What's on your mind?
That's it.
What's on your mind?
Yeah.
So, I'm telling you what's on my mind, especially if you're getting angry. Don't take it there. Please don't take it there. Most of the time. And if I got something I want to say to her, guess what? If I'm not going to post it, I'm going to go right to her and I'm going to talk to her. You know, I thank God that I'm in a position where I don't have to throw shots of shade just to get attention. And if she knows me, I'm very blunt. If I got something to say,
Yeah,
Just
sometimes
say
too blunt.
and then be like,
It's another day.
just another.
So I want to continue to send it because you're dropping dimes on us, really. I'm trying to catch the change here.
I can come back. Do it again.
Let's talk about the relationships and how mental health affects both parties, like the male and the female. Like,
I
why?
think you better go to them.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is
It's
it
not
so
my strong
hard?
point.
Is black love a mental thing? Is it something that we want physically, but mentally it's hard for us to achieve? And
It's all like this. Okay, the black male has been attacked from the very beginning. And now you have the female, now it's to the point now where it's saying, well, the female is in competition with the black male.
Yeah.
I learned,
And vice versa.
yeah, vice versa. I talked to you know, me and your dad go way back. He told me one time before, he said, sometimes your biggest enemy be laying right beside you. Be from the very beginning. You know, when God put Adam and Eve in the garden, what did he say? Not eat off the tree. So what happened?
A lot of my relationship advice from my daddy.
So what ended up happening? So it became a jealousy there. So if you're not careful, you can have that jealousy in your own house.
Wow.
So that's what I learned from a couple that been married a long time. He used to always, he didn't tell me, his son told me. I never talked to him, but I talked to his son. He was like, at 9 o'clock at night, try to be in that room where you and your wife can talk. Kids need to be asleep. How you get your kids sleep at 9 o'clock? Wake them up at 6:30 in the morning every day.
I mean, my parents don't have a TV in their bedroom.
Yeah, that's great.
I never understood why not until I turned 35, 36, or.
Yeah, I seen something, I think it was, I saw Kirk Franklin was saying something about that on an interview on the Breakfast Club recently about not having a bedroom, not having a TV in the bedroom, so I guess him and his wife, talking and everything.
9 o'clock, try to be in there and talk. And when you get that when you can understand each other and talk, and people say communication is key. No, that's understanding.
Understanding.
You can communicate.
Yes.
Understanding the communication. You can talk all day. You already talking. Understanding. You got to have that understanding. And if she's feeling down, I got to be there to listen. If I'm feeling down, she be there to listen. And that's just with anything. Understanding, talking, and try to have your own time. At night, 9 o'clock, it's like your time to vent. You had a hard day at work.
Yeah.
Talk
Have that outlet.
all the time.
And I'm sorry, but in a relationship, it's like in an intimate relationship, that's the person you're closest to outside anyone. You know what I mean? Excluding everyone, that's gonna be the closest person to you. That's your best friend. That's your everything to each other. You still have lives outside each other, but however, that person is the person that you're gonna be with when your kids are grown. Your kids are gonna grow up and they're gonna leave your home. Then who's home with you? And if you don't have a relationship, what you have left in those
And then syndrome, you end up in my office.
Yeah, we all like to be there when we first went into that seclusion. I'm like, oh boy. When they first locked you in the house and you can't go nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh boy, what are we gonna do? Because it's a shock. You're out working. I'm used to being able to sit behind that chair
Didn't know when
and
I
talk.
was missing until now.
Then you went into that house and that shell and you stopped. But let me tell you what it did to my son, my baby. He 2. Now he be 2 Thursday.
The little one.
Be 2 Thursday. So his entire life has been COVID.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
since he can remember.
So he don't know that.
He don't know nothing. So one day we said, look, we're gonna get out. We even went to just a restaurant, go to Corral, where you just have people everywhere. When we first got in there,
He freaked out.
he freaked out.
I would have too.
And we were like, what in the world? I'm like, this boy's scared. We're not realizing it because the older kids, they know what it's like.
Right.
But him is new. Take him outside, he knows the mask automatically got to go in his face. What 2-year-old you can see can wear a mask? He's not going to leave without it because that's all he knows.
Adaptation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we kind of said one time is like, will this COVID turn us into how they say people that get out of prison, what do they call them?
Institutionalized.
Institutionalized. Yeah. Like, will the generations be somewhat like that? Do you see that?
Standoffish when we get back.
I don't know if we'll ever be huggy, touchy,
Yeah.
feely,
Mm.
I'm social butterfly by personality, so
I wonder, you live in South Carolina, I wonder, we are friendly people. I think maybe the other part of the world right now, but I feel like if I saw you in Walmart,
yeah, hey, yeah.
yeah.
But now, people are kind of like,
Oh yeah. People when they walk in, they'll mask up on you real quick.
Yeah.
Like,
What you gonna come to my house for?
it's almost like offensive to hug
Like
somebody.
me, I'm used to, if I see a family member in Walmart, I'm gonna hug them. Like, that's what I'm used to doing.
And I gotta ask.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
I saw my grandma and I'm just like, all I can do is really talk to her because she's 71 or so. And I'm like, I don't
Risk it.
wanna, so it gets to me a little bit.
It does.
How many people think that don't like you look at you and they can stick their tongue out at you now?
Oh, yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, man. You gotta really become good at reading the eyes now. know what I'm saying? Smile with your eyes, like you're smiling at that right now, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
It's happening.
Thank
I
you.
hear some unbelievable stuff.
And another thing like that, I just want to address for mental health is a lot of people, and this is not just the Black communities, it's all communities, a lot of people turn to drugs and alcohol. They cope, and I tell TJ that all the time, because a lot of people are like, why are they on drugs? How did they get on drugs? Why
Nobody
did they
asked
get
you.
drugs? Those drugs numb, it numbs
That's a
them.
good point.
It numbs them mentally, and it takes away the feeling, it numbs it, you know, they don't have to deal with it. And then once you do it enough, you're gonna be addicted.
Well,
So,
right there, Stacey, what does a drug addict look like?
You can never
you
tell.
can't tell. Sometimes there's functioning alcoholics. There may be
Functioning
very
drug
professional functioning alcoholics.
Functioning drug addicts.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
So, that was a great point. Now you gotta come when I go to work.
You tell me messed up tomorrow. You gotta come back tomorrow for him.
But so you guys like when I listen, because I listen to you guys talk, because you guys are goals that I would like to have one day.
All of us.
What I heard though, to really be a person that can receive love and deal with others, you need to have an emotional, mental strength. You need to be emotionally, mentally strong.
Yes.
Because things that people say to us and the environment we're in and the actions that people do towards us, first, it hits us mentally like, oh, I can't believe they did it. And then the emotional part said, you're like, oh, well, you hurt me, right? And then guess what they never deal with? That hurt. And then it turned into anger. And then that's when you know, why are you talking to me, man?
That's just like your first point you made today. How do you get like this? You like stuff that you suppress.
Yeah, you suppress, and everybody goes through things in their life. Nobody's life is perfect.
No.
You have your parents split, that can affect you. If you have to live with a relative, you may not be treated the same way you would have been treated, that can affect you. You see alcohol or drug abuse in your home, that can affect you. You have daddy issues, that carries on throughout life, you know, and people, you're like, I'm fine, that didn't bother me, I'm good, you know, that didn't do anything to me, but if you didn't face it, then you suppressed it, and it has affected you, and it will affect your relationships in life. I've seen that happen with many people. Like, you can really, the people used to have chip on their shoulders,
Yeah.
if you really pull back the layers, it'll be something that happened. You know?
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for anyone who don't have an outlet. For me, mine was always God.
Yeah.
Mine was always, I was able to go, no matter what happened, I was able to say, well, I go to God. People that don't have that, I don't have a relationship, like, what do? And they may turn to drugs, may turn to alcohol. But don't think for 1 minute, TJ Booker sitting up here telling me that I didn't have a hard life or didn't have sorrow, don't have pain, don't have emotion. It may look like it's all put together, but trust me, we all been there. But I just thank God that I always had an opportunity where I could get down on my knees, say, God, I give it to you. And he expect me to do my part. I was telling her yesterday, one thing I tell anybody, don't stress on things that you can't change. But things that you can change, do. Like if you know you're having a mental problem, you might can't change that, but you can go get help.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's how you do it. Now, if you sit back there and you're thinking, well, I'm at a point where I got it. I'm happy, or I'm ready to break, or I'm ready to cry. You know, that's something that somebody else may bring. You may lose a loved one, and somebody else might bring that to you, and you didn't ask for it. They may be, like a drunk driver could kill somebody. What I'm trying to say is like a drunk driver could bring trauma to your life that you didn't ask for.
Right.
You can't change that. You know, you didn't ask for that.
Right.
But it's some things that you can do to make that better. You know, and that's go get help or go get a counselor, go talk to somebody. And for me, it was always God. Because even when somebody did something that I didn't have control over, I was able to control how I felt and how I accepted that and how I reacted to that. That's what I could change. And that would help me, and I hope that helps somebody else. So
I just got one more question to ask. We talked about children, we talked about relationship, we left out a topic that I love to talk about, which is money. How does money affect people's mental health? like think about it, you living paycheck to paycheck, you got this bill coming up, like, I don't know, I'm gonna get this light bill money, kids ain't got no food in there, like, do you see how that resource doesn't come to you, and you're working, and you just really trying, like, when do you break that? Like how do you encourage someone that, because really and truly, the money that you give them out of your pocket is only a temporary fix, right? And for people to get themselves in a better position, they have to position themselves better, right? Like you said, you can fix things that you can change them. But then you have people that don't have the educational background or the even a high school diploma to change that. Like, so how do you deal with the patients that it's not even something traumatic, such as a past experience, but financially a mental stress for them, and it's just changing their whole mood and their demeanor?
COVID has done one or two things. It's either put money in your pocket or you're broke.
Yeah.
And the people that are broke are doing things to compensate, like Anastasia was saying, alcohol, drugs.
Right.
It makes you more broker, you know?
It does, but it numbs.
Temporary fix.
Yeah. Who wants to see stuff that they have being
Yeah.
cut off, taken away, homes, cars, houses, different things, and not even to basically provide for your children? What would you do? How far would you go to provide for your children? You don't know.
You know, they gotta eat. Yeah.
Yeah,
And they gotta eat.
even ones, people who don't have kids, you still have responsibilities to your other loved ones. You may be the head of your household, the responsible one in your family. I'm very one that everybody calls me in my family.
Right.
For my basic, my parents and, nieces and nephews, my brothers, they call me. So, if I wasn't able to do what I'm doing and this was taken away from me, I don't know. That's what gets me through.
Wonderful.
I'm able to go to work whenever I want.
Look at your outlet. You say you
It's
think
my outlet.
yeah, there it is, right?
It's my
You know what I'm
outlet.
saying? That's why people love their career. Find something that you love to do.
That's something that
right?
you love to do.
That's
Yeah.
So COVID really has made a difference in mental health.
COVID, it's either driven you or put you down.
Mhm.
So you're seeing these new businesses sprouting up, different, especially in the Black community. I mean, hats off. We have made a way out of no way.
Yeah.
We got clothes, drinks, food, talents,
Pop-up shop.
pop-up shops. We got all kinds of stuff going on now. Hey, I'm trying to support everybody. That's my problem.
Me too.
Yeah, from head to toe, I'm trying to support. I got on somebody's lip gloss. Somebody hair, somebody jewelry.
Yeah.
If you hit me up and ask me to buy, I'm probably gonna try.
Even if you don't need
Even
it.
if I don't need it, I'll give it to somebody.
That's good.
We doing scrubs at Kiwanis Liquor, got a new scrub out, and we got all kinds of stuff going on. Scrubs lines and body scrub, we got all kinds of. So it either helps you tap into your creativity,
Yeah.
figure out your gift,
Yeah.
or
That's changing. That's
there is a positive in this.
yeah.
There is a positive in it.
There's the positive in this.
Anything you do, you can.
The Black community is known for finding.
Yeah.
All the time.
We had to. It's been in our genes.
Had to.
It's been in there.
I mean, what you been through? You gotta
What
put
you
on the
been
shit
through?
you brought through. Like,
You gonna find.
why you still here? Why you still
I
here?
picked up 4 additional contracts because I'm working from home on 2 days a week.
Right.
That's money in my pocket sitting at the house on the phone.
Right.
You had to find it. That's my gift, is talking on the daggone phone.
I said, don't stress what you
Don't
can't change.
stress what you can't change.
But change.
Tap into what you can.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think that's the great answer.
Expand on that gift.
And
Know
then,
your gift and expand on it.
and then do you think
It's
that
gonna make you money,
do you think that with that money will make you happy and put you in a better mental
and it's
state?
something you wanna
It
do.
might help.
Definitely.
If that's the issue, it will. That's the issue.
Man start, man
It's
start
something to
hurting.
do.
Yeah.
Master of hard needs, like he tapped into God, safety and security at the very bottom of that list. You gotta get that first.
Yeah.
Now you gain all the world, lose your soul, you gain nothing. But you
And,
need money to survive and to live. You know, so tap into it. Like she said, tap into
your gift.
your gift and find your way out to where you can be financially stable. And when you get it, you gotta learn to manage it well. You know, like you say, you give a man a fish to eat for a day.
Yeah.
Learn how to fish. You know.
Like I said,
And I-
you give them that money, it's only gonna fix that problem.
Yeah.
If you show them how to make money.
Yeah, I'm expanding on mixing. By next year, I'll be, you know,
You make
I'll have my own, no, not DJ. I mix drinks for my family.
Oh, okay.
So now, yeah, I'm mixing. So now I'm like creating different drinks from home and letting my friends try them. So I'll expand on that soon. I want to do it the legal way though.
Yeah. No
So
doubt.
I'm just playing with it right now.
So my question for everybody is, what are some ideas? Because we said work, find things you love. You know, TJ, prayer, God. I you know, gave that advice out before. What are some other outlets that people could use if they are feeling depressed or stressed out and anxious, or you know, they feel like something's going on? What are some other ideas that they could?
I say hobbies too, outside activity is good. Getting to a gym, exercising with someone. Where a lot of men used to work out by themselves, I'm seeing at the gym now, it's starting to be, you know, small cliques. Of course, COVID, but you know, enough of a crew, 5 or so, to get your routine going. And they meet there every morning.
Yeah.
And after that, they may go, you know, and that gives them time to talk.
So
Talking helps.
Talking, yeah, and it's mostly, you know, at the gym I'm at, it's, Aim High Fitness is for black, you know, a lot of black men are there. Shout out, Calvin. But, you know, I just see that, yeah, I just see that, yes, he's so positive,
Yeah.
he's positive, and they all work together,
I think you guys forgot companionship. That's what you guys spoke about, you know?
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's what she was talking about, your companionship.
Companionship,
Do guys on your job.
bunch of, guys getting together and being able to talk every
It
morning.
is, because you definitely,
They
women
meet
definitely
at
gonna have
the
your
same
own
time.
times.
Yeah. Like TJ's barbershop.
That's the
Some
same.
guys might want to come get their haircut at the same time. Or, you know, a lot of people talk so good about what TJ is doing
Right.
in the community.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
he's getting ready to expand on teaching and, you know, a lot of, you know, he don't know the good things they say about him behind his back. You know, different people like me, they, you know TJ?
You never
Yeah.
know who you know.
You don't ever know who you know.
Wow.
You never know.
Everybody has a gift.
Yeah.
That's his gift. That's her gift, that with the kids and coming up with different things to do. I would never think of Pictionary and
One little pen.
none of that stuff. That's not my mindset. That's hers, and that's great. And she could maybe start a little small after school and help these other little parents.
She gardens, you know, we was thinking about doing a little garden.
My parents started a garden.
Yeah.
That's been my dad's outlet with retirement.
Garden.
He's gardening.
So we look for a couple little kids to come and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
they can, they're interested in planting, they can paint. And like my mother, she knows how to do it, but she's not physically able
Yes.
to do it like she was. So I was like, hey, why don't I get a couple, 10, 12 little kids who want to do that? They come here, they can take their little food and sell it, take it to their family, give it away, whatever they want to do with it, it'll be theirs because they help plant it. And next thing you know, you might have another Mr. Jackson in the meeting.
There you go.
There it is. So guys, are we taking a pledge right now? Are we taking like a pledge to like be mental health advocates right now? Like, are we doing that?
That's loving your neighbor. When you love your neighbor, you're going to do that.
Community, taking charge of the community.
Yeah.
I felt like we was
Yeah.
Pledge.
And ladies, hold those men accountable. When men hold those ladies, do something in your community. If you're not doing anything in the community, if you don't know what's going on at your schools, you know, if you don't know what's going on in the streets, you gotta know all this stuff. So guys, you gotta take part, you gotta help. I can't do all this stuff by myself.
Yeah.
You got people like Marcus Porter, them doing it, I'm glad, you know, but you gotta have that
Yeah.
to where you are doing it and you're out trying to make a difference for the right reasons, not doing it for clout, not doing it for the women. Thank God.
Holding each other accountable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll make a huge difference. Is there anything else that we left off? I feel like we covered a lot of different topics. I did want to ask you one other thing though. Was it a specific group that you said? Did you feel like this depression hit more? Was it like the children? Was it the adults? Who would you say it impacted more?
I'd say the teenagers, adolescents, unfortunately starting younger. But high suicide rate with adolescents. Unfortunately, yeah, it's not an outlet like you say. They don't drive. They can't get in their cars and take a drive. They're not able to drive. They're not old enough for a driver's license. They don't have a car. The family probably only has one car at this point anyway, if they can drive. They don't have money and, you know, it's limited
Yes.
for them. Everything, if you think about it. Like we were talking about school activities, after school, concerts, football,
Graduations.
everything was taken away from
Graduation
them.
prom.
Yeah, my stepdaughter was a senior last year and it was no prom.
Yeah.
Everything that she had looked forward to doing
We took for granted.
is gone.
Mhm.
So, you know, you have to think about the things that you were able to do
Yes, we were.
and go spend the night at such and such house and go skating and
Had a great
all those nice crowded events.
Field trips.
Field trips are gone,
We'll be.
Mhm.
everything is gone, overnight field trips.
And unfortunately,
Chaperones and good life, man.
and unfortunately, some of them don't have the luxury of a nice home to the point where
No.
their dad might be the abuser. You know, their mom,
School
dad
was
might
the outlet,
you know.
school was the meals,
Yeah.
Right.
school was food, school was everything.
And just to get away from it for a minute.
That's one thing, yeah,
Everybody needs to find their peace, and
yeah.
I could see that school could be a peaceful place for
Definitely.
something.
I just pray and hopefully they can use and tap into the resource of God, because He can help you in any situation where you're down. He can lead you to the right way. You can be suicidal and He can lead you to a counselor that can help you. He can lead you to the mental health home. Well, like I said, I'm fortunate that I got it and I teach that to my kids, but so many people out there don't have an avenue.
I was about
I
to
just
say,
pray. I wish.
everybody, 90% of my clients are saying no religious preference.
Yeah. And when
So
we
that's out.
and sadly, when they had it, I mean, I used to get so angry. I go into the store and somebody's out there from some church. Hey, you want to buy some donuts? I'm like,
No,
shit, I don't know about no donuts. You ought to be giving them out.
yeah.
You know, I'm like, please. That's what turned so many people away from the church. You always had your hand out.
Yeah.
Jesus fed people, you know, like, please.
He did do
So
that.
people, so I'm talking to the churches now. You need to get your stuff together and stop begging people for this money they already hit with COVID. They driving by picking up tithes. They're not even commanding in the New Testament to give tithes. It's awful.
Help. It's better
It
to help than to receive.
It's better to get them receipts. So these churches are asking you, please help these communities out. Help these communities out, you know, and stop asking and begging them. That's why they have no religious preference.
They don't.
Because they've just been so abused by it so long
It's hard.
and
Wow.
hard.
Wow.
So where I had a grandmother and a mother and a grandfather who taught me that. Some people don't have it, and then when they did have it, that collection plate hit us so many times. So now people just turn their back
I
on it.
went around about 3 times.
I went around 3 times, hit it, Sunday school fund, the building fund,
Ministry
grill,
funds.
everything. And so now people don't have that no more because the younger kids are smarter than that. They're like, I'm not going to church. I'm not going to no church. So what do they got now?
They better start catching
I'm
up.
going
They
there.
have.
They got church got cash up. I still to this day. Here's on Cash App. Cash App me this, you know, come on.
Well, you know, like Quinn said earlier, a lot of the kids have been turning to phones, entertainment. Think about these songs
TikTok.
and
Everything.
movies. Like
Yeah.
there was that show 13 Reasons Why.
Mhm.
There's a lot of things on television, a lot of songs. If you listen to a lot of songs, a lot of rappers they're sad.
Yep, feel
You
like
know,
Sad, I'm
Yeah, on top of one shoot about
Shoot somebody themselves.
You know, they're like, I'm gonna die at this age, and like Chris, my son, 10-year-old, he's telling me about one of the rappers that passed and how he predicted his death, and he said he was gonna die, and they pray, you know, they love this guy, and I'm like, he was sad, he was depressed, I don't
Yeah,
think
he
he was
talked about doing drugs.
Yeah, you know, I'm like,
And he
why
said
you-
didn't want to do the drugs, but he didn't want to feel the pain. That's
Yeah.
how the song goes.
yeah, it's like that's the stuff our
Nice.
kids are listening
All
to.
right. maybe
My
we-
mixtape.
And her job, she needs to know this. She
Yeah, I have to know
it.
it. I have to know it.
And
You see me up late at night online, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm telling you about what happens with people, and that's why a lot of people don't go to church, you know, because that's what they see. You know, because I even now try to dress down when I do a sermon. I'm not gonna wear a suit because I make somebody who don't have a suit feel uncomfortable. So I might just wear a shirt and a pair of pants. You know, because I want them to feel like, hey, come just like you are.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
because they don't have it.
You gotta be really
They don't have it.
definitely. Yeah, all platforms, yeah. Guys, I'm gonna let you close it out.
Well, absolutely. This was perfect. Before we get out of here again, Ms. Barrett, would you please let everybody know, like, the
Thank you.
mental health hotline, we appreciate you, but just let them know if anyone needs some help, someone to talk to the hotline. And
Carolina Center for Behavioral Health is in Greer, South Carolina, 2700 East Phillips Road, 864-235-2335.
All right.
235-2335.
All right.
We thank you. I'm telling you, thank you
Yeah.
for coming.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, this was a much needed conversation, especially with everything going on right now. We really appreciate you taking the time to come sit with us. If you didn't get a chance to watch this interview live, you can be sure to watch it you can listen to it on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, as well as on YouTube. So hopefully you guys enjoy this and enjoy the educational session. Till next time, it's Yin, it's time we talk, season 2. Thank you for listening.